Part 2. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at Westlake. Chapter 11. Be Reborn. A faint voice sounded, as if it had touched the rules of the world, and a tiny, untouchable ripple flashed through the space. Then, an invisible energy flew out of Reynolds' body. This energy cannot be detected by humans, even the most powerful person. Even the peak power of knowledge and color can't be sensed, but Lucifer can see it. Lucifer controlled this energy to fly into the fruit in his hand, and soon, the fruit changed. First, the color became dark, and at the same time, the surface of the fruit changed. Complex and weird spiral patterns grew. Just like that, a devil fruit was reborn. This devil fruit was actually Reynolds' cat fruit, Black Panther form. Sure enough, it can. Lucifer was a little surprised. The idea of recovering the devil fruit came to him in a flash of inspiration. He didn't expect it to be successful. But he didn't expect that the power of the word spirit fruit was even more incredible than what he thought. Whatever you say will follow your will, and everything will follow your heart. Can control all matter. Now even the devil fruit cannot escape Lucifer's control. With this ability, no matter what fruit Lucifer wants in the future, he only needs to kill the original owner. The dark fruit can take away the abilities of others. The word spirit fruit is more heaven-defying than the dark fruit. There's no reason why it can't be done. Ding, it is detected that the host has obtained a devil fruit, which can be recycled by the system and gain killing points. At this moment, the electronic sound of the system suddenly sounded. Does the system also have a recycling function? Lucifer was a little surprised. How many kill points can you get by recycling the Black Panther fruit? Lucifer asked in his heart. Cat fruit panther form, it is an ordinary animal devil fruit. You can get 30,000 kill points by recycling it. 30,000 is not bad. Lucifer nodded secretly. The Black Panther fruit can only be regarded as ordinary in the animal system. It is not an ancient species, let alone a fantasy beast species. If it is the latter too, the value will be even greater. We will not recycle it for the time being, but keep it for now. Lucifer flipped his hand and put away the Black Panther fruit. In the ordinary animal system, the Black Panther fruit is a carnivore, and it is considered superior. It can be compared with CP9 Rob Lucci's cheetah ability. The powerful devil fruit is rare, just look at the abilities of CP9. If the Black Panther fruit is developed well, it can also cultivate a strong person. There are also devil fruits for sale in the system store, and even fantasy beast species are available, but the prices are very high. Expensive. If Lucifer is willing to spend money, he can naturally get stronger fruits. But he is too poor now and alone, so he does not need the fruits. In the future, if he finds qualified subordinates, he can use the Black Panther fruits to cultivate them, or he can sell the Black Panther fruit and replace it with a stronger one. The choice is yours. After confirming that there were no surviving pirates in the building, Lucifer turned and left the banquet hall. At this time, countless criminals were entrenched outside the building. Everyone was watching the battle, trying to see the final winner. Everyone heard the screams coming from the building, and everyone felt chilled. After the screams disappeared, they saw the smiling man Lucifer walked out of the building. Seeing this smiling young man, countless criminals in the dark felt numb. Winning, really winning. Lucifer walked out safe and sound, and the outcome of the battle was clear at a glance. Although there were many people thought in advance that Lucifer would be the winner in the end. But after what happened, they all felt very incredible. After all, Lucifer was too young, and the battle process was too short. From Lucifer entering the building to coming out, the process less than 10 minutes. Who would have thought that such a harmless pretty boy could single-handedly wipe out the furious leopard pirates in just 10 minutes? What a monster! Soon, this monster's name will spread throughout the sea. What's his name? Don't know, but we'll find out soon. Such a monster is destined to become famous all over the world. Everyone knows that Lucifer's name will soon spread throughout the Grand Line. Ignoring the secret gaze, Lucifer left the center of the town and returned to the tavern where he had dined before. "Boss, let's have 10 barbecues and 2 bottles of rum," Lucifer said as he threw a stack of banknotes on the bar. After gaining the devil's physique, Lucifer ate a lot. The roast he ate before was not even enough to fit between his teeth. After killing people, he was hungry again. "No, I'll treat you this time." The boss was a little afraid, and nodded and bowed towards Lucifer, showing a flattering smile. He was very quick, and in less than 3 minutes, 10 roasted meats were placed in front of Lucifer. During the meal, Lucifer called up his attribute panel. Attributes panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color Haki, intermediate. Knowledge color Haki, awakening. Overlord color Haki, awakening. Killing points, 30,000. The total number of killing points has reached 30,000, and another one can be carried out. The wave is consumed. Lucifer opens the system store and gives the order. System, purchase the primary knowledge color Haki and the overlord color Haki. Ding, if you successfully purchase the Baki and overlord colors, 10,000 killing points will be deducted, leaving 20,000 killing points. Power emerged, flowed throughout the body, and finally merged into one. Lucifer's knowledge color Haki and overlord color Haki were simultaneously upgraded to the primary stage. At the primary stage, Lucifer can freely use these two powers. Although he is still very weak, at least you can control it freely. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at Westlake. Chapter 12. In fact, Lucifer can upgrade both his wisdom-colored Haki and overlord-colored Haki to the intermediate level at the same time, but that will use up all his kill points. At present, Lucifer still wants to upgrade the armed color Haki to a high level first, and then upgrade the other two types of Haki. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color Haki, intermediate. Hearing color Haki, elementary. Overlord color Haki, elementary. Killing points, 20,000. While Lucifer was dining, all the other guests in the tavern quietly left the tavern. A pirate came in outside the door. After seeing that the person dining was Lucifer, he was immediately frightened and ran away in panic. After the bloodbath of the furious leopard pirates, Lucifer's reputation on Faelu Island became extremely bad, making everyone fearful of it. "Boss, besides Reynolds the furious leopard, are there any other guys on this island who can be named?" After finishing 10 pieces of barbecue, Lucifer gently shook his wine glass and asked. "Yes, in addition to Reynolds, there is Adam the Blood Axe and Paul the Cleaver. The strength of both of them is very close to that of Reynolds, only one step behind. These 3 people are the 3 giants of Faelu Island. Reynolds' station is in the center of the town, and the other 2 are on the east and west sides of the town." The tavern owner naturally knew everything about Lucifer's question. While speaking, he tore off 2 reward notices from the wall behind him and placed them in front of Lucifer. One was for Blood Axe Adam, with a reward of 150 million belly. One of them belongs to Paul the Cleaver, with a reward of 190 million belly. These 3 guys are all criminals with a bounty of over 100 million, so why don't they go to the New World? Lucifer said with a playful smile. They went there, but in the end they all fled back in despair. The tavern owner shook his head, with a hint of bitterness on the corner of his mouth. This bitterness was not only because of the 3 Reynolds, but also because of himself. Because he, like these three pirates, is a loser. Countless pirates appear every year. Groups rush into the New World, but within half a year, half of these pirate groups that rush into the New World will collapse. Most of the remaining half of the pirate groups will choose to join the strong men in the New World. A very small number of pirates in the New World will, if the world cannot survive, they will escape back to paradise. Obviously, Reynolds and Adam are all losers who escaped from the New World. No wonder. Lucifer smiled sarcastically. Now he finally knows why Reynolds is the only one in the Angry Leopard Pirates who has the strength. It stands to reason that a pirate with a bounty of more than 200 million would have several subordinates with bounties of tens of millions or even tens of millions. There are hundreds of millions of cotters. But the Angry Leopard Pirates don't have that. Reynolds' men are all a bunch of trash. His capable cotters must have died in the New World. The group of trash under him now is a group of trash after escaping back to the paradise. Recruited. Big Three? They're just a bunch of trash. Such a loser can only hide in paradise and linger. Lucifer shook his head and smiled, put down his glass, stood up and left the tavern. In the east area of the town, in a tavern, this is the headquarters of the Blood Axe Pirates. At this time, the Blood Axe Pirates were having a banquet. The daily life of a pirate is always so ordinary. Apart from killing, plundering, and fighting, the only thing left is having banquets. Captain Adam, when are we going to do something big again? I haven't killed anyone in a long time, and my sword is already thirsty. That's right, my money is almost running out. After looting a few more towns, we can rush into the New World. More than 200 pirates gathered together, making the tavern very noisy. The pirates' eyes were all on a burly man in the main seat. He was the captain of the Blood Axe Pirates, Adam Morris. Adam Light. His arms were bare, his body was full of muscles, and his chest, back and back were covered with criss-crossing scars. Especially on the left chest, there was a huge scar that covered almost 1/3 of his chest. Just looking at the scars, you can tell the extent of the injury. How terrifying it is, it's hard to imagine how Adam survived in the first place. Wait a minute, don't worry. We will soon be able to rush into the New World. As long as you follow me, you can become famous all over the world. Adam laughed loudly and drank all the bottle of rum in one breath. That's right, the captain is the strongest. The captain will definitely become the Pirate King, and then we will be the crew of the Pirate King. A group of pirate soldiers looked at Adam, their faces full of fanaticism, and they all fawned over them. But Adam himself was different. When he mentioned the New World, a trace of fear appeared in the depths of his pupils. Touching the huge scar on his left chest, the body will also tremble involuntarily. Only by truly understanding the New World can you know how terrible the New World is. Adam has already been there once, and that time he lost half his life, and almost all the elite pirates under his command were wiped out. On the run after returning to the paradise, Adam has been recruiting crew members, accumulating strength, and wants to fight back to the New World. But this date is far away. Adam knows that he is afraid. He has wanted to set sail countless times and fight back to the New World, but every time he would come up with a reason to convince himself. The reason he convinced himself was that the strength he had accumulated was not enough, and he needed more powerful subordinates. In this way, the date of setting sail was delayed again and again. As time went by, the more scared he became, the less he dared to return to that terrifying hell. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 13. Over time, Adam became what he is now, numbing himself with alcohol every day, bragging with a group of pirates at banquets, showing off his past glory and legends. It is impossible to set sail. It is impossible to set sail in this life. He couldn't win the fight. The new world was too dangerous, so it was better to stay in the paradise. Adam's confidence has been destroyed, and he is now a fallen pirate, a complete loser. He is now telling his subordinates that he wants to fight back to the new world, but he is just deceiving himself. The banquet was very lively, and hundreds of pirates were just messing around. The praise made Adam feel proud. He felt that life like this was very good. Here, he was very strong and no one dared to provoke him. Suddenly, a panicked voice suddenly came from the noisy banquet, breaking his fantasy. "Captain, Captain Adam, something bad is going on." A panicked pirate rushed in from outside the door. He was unsteady on his feet and fell to the ground. He slid face down for more than 10 meters and finally stopped at Adam's feet. "What happened? What are you doing in a hurry?" Adam was a little angry. The pirates under his command were frightened like this, which would make him seem incompetent as a captain. "Captain, something bad has happened, Reynolds was killed, and the angry leopard pirates were blood-bathed." The pirate soldiers said everything in fear, instantly causing the noisy banquet hall to fall into a dead silence. "What did you say? Can you say that again?" Adam's color suddenly changed. "Really, word has gotten out." The pirate Zao said in fear, "Today a new person came to the island, he is a monster. He alone wiped out the entire angry leopard pirates." Remembering what Lucifer did, the pirates were trembling with fear. "Did that idiot Reynolds offend the other party?" Adam asked. "No, Reynolds didn't know him at all." The pirate soldiers shook their heads repeatedly. "That monster kills people for no reason at all, as if he is looking for prey. Some people on the island are spreading rumors that his next target is our blood axe pirates. Is it a bounty hunter?" Adam first thought of this type of people. The only ones who would hunt pirates as prey are bounty hunters. There are also strong people among bounty hunters, and many bounty hunters can thrive even in the new world. The pirates in the tavern looked at each other in dead silence, and no one spoke. When they looked at each other, they could see the fear in each other's eyes. How strong is the angry leopard pirates? They know best. In terms of overall strength, even stronger than the blood axe pirates. If that monster can annihilate the furious leopard pirates, it can annihilate the blood axe pirates. If he comes looking for them, they will definitely die. "Captain, what should we do now?" "Yes, Captain, come up with an idea." "How about we leave, keep the green hills and don't worry about running out of firewood?" "That's right, Captain, there's no reason for us to fight a monster." Hundreds of pirates were all frightened. They were already thinking about running away before they saw Lucifer. Their previous heroic ambitions of dreaming about entering the new world all disappeared at this moment, and the nature of the trash fish was fully exposed. "What you said makes sense. Let's leave first and then come back after we build up strength." Adam looked at the pirates in front of him and shouted with pride. "We are the strongest blood axe pirates, we will not be afraid. This retreat is just to avoid unnecessary fighting. We will be able to regain our position one day in the future. Guys, pack your things, let's go." Adam shouted angrily. "Yes, Captain." The pirate soldiers responded one after another, and then began to pack their things. Looking at the pirate soldiers who still admired him, Adam nodded secretly in his heart. As a captain, he also wants to save face, and cannot show fear and terror in front of his younger brother. As for kill them back. Stop joking. Adam, who has personally experienced the new world, knows very well that the monsters that can single-handedly wipe out the raging panther pirates are definitely not something they can provoke. Is it too late to think of running away now? Suddenly, a voice came from outside the tavern, echoing around. "Who?" Adam immediately turned his head to look at the door of the tavern, his eyes fixed on the outside. Hundreds of pirates also picked up their weapons and stood ready. Boom! A shock wave roared into the tavern, beating a group of pirates to their knees. The dozens of pirates who were hit from the front were directly torn to pieces by the shock wave, and their flesh and blood flew everywhere. The pirates in the tavern were so frightened that they fled in all directions. Adam also involuntarily raised his giant axe to protect his body. Dong 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 dong. Harsh footsteps sounded. Lucifer stepped into the tavern and smiled at everyone. Yo, it's so lively here. Do you mind adding me to the party? Seeing Lucifer appear, the pirate soldier who reported the news was so frightened that his face twisted. It's him, he's the monster who slaughtered the furious leopard pirates with blood. The hoarse roar rang in the ears of hundreds of pirates, making their whole bodies feel cold. Why come here? Why did it come so quickly? Adam was panicked. He took a few steps back involuntarily and glanced at the small door behind him, which was the back door of the tavern. Faced with such a monster, Adam didn't even think about fighting. His first reaction was to run away. But on the surface, he don't show fear. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 14. This is too much bullying, kids, come together and kill this kid. Adam roared and gave the order. You're right, there are hundreds of us and he's only one person. There is nothing to be afraid of, kill him. Cut him to death. Hundreds of pirates mustered up their courage and swarmed forward to kill Lucifer. However, Adam himself took advantage of the attack by his men and quietly took a few steps back without leaving a trace. Bang! The ground beneath his feet exploded, and Adam turned into the black shadow shot at the back door of the tavern. The attack was fake, but the escape was real. In Adam's eyes, hundreds of pirates and miscellaneous soldiers were just cannon fodder. How could his own life be important? He doesn't even have the courage to fight, he is really a loser. Lucifer showed a hint of disdain in his eyes, and raised his hand slightly, Blade Storm. As soon as he finished speaking, the space behind him split open, and countless swords shot out, forming a tornado of swords and rushed into the tavern. The storm of blades roared past, sweeping away hundreds of pirates, even the fleeing Adam. He was pulled back. Countless sharp blades cut him, shrill screams came one after another, and a lot of blood and flesh flew everywhere. There was a loud bang, and a storm of sharp blades exploded. Thousands of swords flew in all directions, piercing the walls and floor of the tavern. And several hundreds of pirates have been cut into countless pieces of flesh by sharp blades, and no bones are left. With one move, the Blood Axe pirates were completely wiped out, leaving no one alive. Ding, the host killed Adam Morris and obtained 18,000 killing points. Ding, the host kills the pirate soldiers and gets 500 killing points. Ding, the host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 700 killing points. Ding, the host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 400 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point increased sharply. Not surprisingly, Adam Bloodaxe's kill points don't match his bounty either. In this wave, Lucifer gained a total of 23,000 kill points. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color haki, intermediate. Hearing color haki, elementary. Overlord color haki, elementary. Killing points, 43,000. Including the original 20,000, Lucifer's killing point, the total number reached 43,000. There is still 7,000 left to buy high-grade armed color domineering. Lucifer smiled calmly, turned around and left the tavern, and the direction he left was the headquarters of the cutting pirates. Captain Paul, I heard that a monster bounty hunter came to the island, should we pay attention? Yes, I heard that this monster single-handedly wiped out the furious leopard pirates. It is simply terrifying. Cut the pirate group's station. Several pirate soldiers looked at a blond man carefully, with nervous expressions. Huh, pay attention? Anything worth noting? The blond man snorted coldly, looking at the pirates at his feet with wide eyes. Who do you think I am? I'm Paul the Cutter. He's just a kid who just debuted. What's there to be afraid of? Let me ask you, what is there to be afraid of? Paul grabbed the neck of a pirate soldier in front of him and used force with his palms. The pirate soldier, whose neck was choked, struggled violently and his eyes bulged. He wanted to beg for mercy, but he couldn't speak. After a while, the pirate's neck hit. Damn, I died immediately. Huh, trash. Paul threw away the body with his hands, just like throwing away a dead dog. The other pirates were trembling with fear when they saw the captain being so cruel. Among the 3 captains of the pirate groups on Voyage Island, Paul the Cutter was the most cruel and cruel. 1. He kills people when they disagree, even his own crew members. 80 if not 100 crew members died in his hands. The crew of the cutting pirates didn't agree with Paul as the captain, but they didn't dare to complain, let alone betray. Those who complained and betrayed have already been crushed to death by Paul. A mere brat who thinks he has some strength dares to act arrogantly. Who does he think he is? He's still far away. This sea is not that simple. Paul was moody and fell directly into a state of rage. He picked up a bottle of wine and drank it boldly, then threw it to the ground. Seeing Paul in this state, the surrounding pirates became even more frightened and stayed away, not daring to take a step closer. There were only a few pirates in the corner who looked a little disappointed and helpless when they saw Paul like this. In fact, Paul, the cutter who had just debuted, was not like this. At that time, Paul was high-spirited and wanted to be the pirate king. He treated everyone on the ship. The crew members are also as close as brothers. During battles, he always rushes to the front. The crew members on the ship respect him very much and are even willing to sacrifice their lives for him. But after experiencing the fiasco in the New World, Paul changed. His pirate group was almost wiped out, his self-esteem was shattered, and his pride was gone. After escaping back to the paradise, Paul the Cutter became a degenerate pirate. He drank and lost his temper every day, and even treated his own crew members harshly. Dead hand. He became crazy and moody, like a cripple who could only be incompetent and furious. This sea is not that simple. Paul seemed to be drunk, his face was red, and he was sitting on the chair muttering to himself. At this moment, 3 whirlwind strikes suddenly flew in from outside the door. Dozens of pirates bore the brunt and were struck on the spot. Cut into pieces. Flesh and blood flew everywhere, shocking everyone. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 15. Boom. Before Paul could react, the high-rise building had been cut into 4 pieces, like a cake with 3 cuts. A piece of building debris fell and hit Paul on the head. What's the situation? There are enemies. It's that monster, it must be that monster coming. We are doomed. The members of the cutting pirates were scared out of their wits and fled around like frightened rats. Boom. A piece of building debris was cut into pieces. A disheveled Paul jumped out from under the rubble and shouted in a hissing voice, "Why are you panicking? What's the point of panic? I'm not dead yet." Seeing that Paul was still alive, the members of the pirate group seemed to have found their backbone. Although they were also afraid of Paul, his presence could at least give them a sense of security. I want to see what kind of brat dares to challenge Paul, the cutter. Paul jumped 10 meters high, and rushed out of the station building. He saw Lucifer standing outside the building at a glance. He was very young and handsome. He was just a pretty boy, the favorite of rich women. That kind of thing. He could kill as many as 800 if not 1,000 pretty boys like this. You arrogant brat, go to hell. Paul waved his hand, and the air rippled, shooting 3 vacuum slashes and flying towards Lucifer. He was the cutter who ate the cut fruit, and he was also a famous pirate at the beginning. With this ability, Paul's favorite it is to cut off the enemy's head and hang it on the bow of the ship. This is where the name of the cutter comes from. Trivial skills. Lucifer smiled coldly, and gently lowered his raised palm, wind blade. As soon as he finished speaking, a gust of wind appeared out of thin air, forming a huge gust of wind slash that broke through the air. Paul's vacuum slash was directly defeated, and finally the wind blade struck him. Poof! Blood splashed, flesh and blood flying sideways. Paul the cutter was directly chopped into pieces by the wind blade, turning into flesh and blood pouring down from the sky. Ding! The host killed Paul Kels and obtained 18,000 killing points. The system's electronic sound sounded, and Lucifer's killing point finally exceeded 50,000. No, it's too harsh. Can the devil fruit be recovered after the body is broken into pieces? Lucifer was a little dumbfounded and quickly gave the order. Be reborn. The words fell, touching the rules of the world. Just as an invisible force was about to escape, it was restrained by Lucifer's spiritual power. Under Lucifer's control, this force was sent into a fruit. Soon, the fruit becomes a devil fruit. Superman cuts the fruit and recovers it successfully. Lucifer smiled faintly and put away the devil fruit. If you kill a pirate, you will not only get killing points, but also a devil fruit. Eat 2 fish for 1, and make a lot of money. Dead, Captain dead. No, it's impossible. How could the captain die? The captain is dead, what should we do? Run, run. That man is a monster. He's going to be killed. Seeing with my own eyes that Paul's body was gone, hundreds of pirates from the cutting pirates began to flee in all directions. The screams and shouts of terror kept ringing out. It was hard to imagine that this was a group of murderous pirates. In the face of death, everyone is the same. Lucifer smiled coldly and lowered his palm again. Wind blade. The roaring wind was like a sharp knife, sweeping through the pirates and cutting them into pieces. In the blink of an eye, all the members of the cutting pirates were dead, and even their station building was turned into ruins. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 1,500 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 900 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 800 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 300 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point increased sharply. In this wave, Lucifer once again gained 9,000 kill points. Including the 18,000 points gained from killing Paul, this hunt resulted in a total of 27,000 kill points. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color haki, intermediate. Hearing color haki, beginner. Overlord color haki, beginner. Killing points, 70,000. Lucifer's total killing points are counted together reached 70,000 points. Killing 3 pirate groups in a row, the harvest is indeed not bad. Lucifer opened the system store and found armed color haki. System, purchase advanced armed color domineering. Ding! The armed color domineering purchase was successful, 50,000 killing points were deducted, and the remaining killing points were 20,000. Familiar energy appeared in Lucifer's body, and in an instant, Lucifer's armed domineering power increased to a high level. With the blessing of the system, Lucifer's power changes were completed in an instant, and there was no violation in its use. There are 20,000 killing points left, just enough to upgrade the wisdom color and overlord color. Lucifer glanced at the balance and gave instructions in his heart. System, by the intermediate level of knowledge color domineering and the intermediate level of overlord color domineering. Ding, if you successfully purchased the intermediate level haki of knowledge and the intermediate haki of overlord, 20,000 killing points will be deducted, and the remaining killing points will be 0. In this way, Lucifer upgraded the haki of knowledge haki and haki to the intermediate level. With continuous consumption, Lucifer's 70,000 killing points were all spent, and there was no balance at all. But the consumption in exchange for power was worth it. Lucifer went to sea to hunt the sea. Thief, isn't it just to become stronger? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 16. A tribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color haki, advanced. Wisdom color haki, intermediate. Overlord color haki, intermediate. Killing points, 0. Next, it's time to hunt other targets. Looking at the killing point with a balance of 0, Lucifer started the next step of hunting. Falu Island is a famous three-no island in the first half of the Grand Line. In addition to Reynolds the Furious Leopard, Adam the Blood Axe and Paul the Cleaver on the island, and there are many targets worth hunting. Although the killing points obtained by killing them are not as good as those of the big three, they are better than nothing. Boom. 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 Just as Lucifer was about to head to the next target location, the coastal port in the distance, suddenly there was the sound of artillery bombardment. With the sound of artillery fire, the coastal port quickly turned into a sea of fire. Countless pirates, gangsters, and human traffickers fled in all directions, screaming in agony. What's the situation? Lucifer jumped up to a tall building. He saw 3 warships appearing on the sea not far from the port. Why is the Navy here? Lucifer stood on the roof of a tall building, his eyes narrowed. On the sea, 3 warships were approaching quickly. Among them was a warship of the highest standard, plus 2 cruisers. The warships fired in unison and fired countless shells at Falu. The island was bombed indiscriminately. The highest level warships had at least 1 vice admiral from the Navy headquarters. Therefore, this operation was led by the Navy vice admiral. Lieutenant General Doberman, is it true that our indiscriminate bombing may harm civilians? On the warship, a colonel walked up behind Doberman and asked slightly nervously. It doesn't matter, Falu Island is full of lawless elements and no civilians. Doberman said in a low voice. However, might there be a bounty hunter among them? Them. Are you questioning my decision? Doberman's eyes widened, revealing a hint of murderous intent. No, I don't dare, it's because my subordinate made a mistake. The captain's heart skipped a beat and he quickly shut up, not daring to say anything more. It was common for a hawkish vice admiral to kill his own subordinates. If he kept talking nonsense, he would die faster than a pirate. Doberman snorted coldly, even bounty hunters are still a group of restless elements, and they are all targets that the Navy wants to eradicate. Wanting to implement absolute justice is not as simple as talking about it. Doberman looked at the flaming sea of Falu Island in the distance, his eyes were as calm as water, without any waves. He is an Eagle Navy. In order to eradicate evil, he hunts pirates, even if it affects civilians, it will not affect them. He doesn't hesitate to kill. What's more, there are no civilians on Falu Island, so Doberman won't hesitate to issue an order to destroy it. Send me an order to destroy everything on Falu Island and make sure that no lawless elements can escape. Yes, Lieutenant General. The colonel saluted respectfully and left quickly to convey the order. After the order was issued, the artillery bombardment of the 3 warships became more intensive. As an island where lawless elements gather, Falu Island is very famous in the first half of the Grand Route. In the eyes of the Navy headquarters, Falu Island is like a cancer, an existence that must be eradicated. But this time, there are 3 pirate groups with over 100 million who have returned from the New World gathered on the island, which is more determined for the Navy headquarters to bulldoze Falu Island determination. That's why this operation was carried out. With Lieutenant General Doberman leading the team, 2 rear admirals and thousands of naval forces, it was more than enough to bulldoze Falu Island. Boom. 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 Artillery fire. The roar was endless. The sea of fire spread from the port, half of the town was engulfed by the sea of fire, and the island became a hell on earth. Countless pirates and traffickers were killed by cannonballs, and more were burned to death by fire. Screams came and went. Mourning floods the land. Hey, hey, this is simply a small demon-slaying order. Lucifer stood on the top of a clock tower, looking at the sea of fire town below, somewhat speechless. The demon-slaying order consists of 5 vice admirals, 10 rear admirals, plus tens of thousands of naval elites and 10 warships. To deal with an indiscriminate destructive strike is carried out at a target location to completely eliminate all people and objects at the target location. This is the Navy's highest-scale military operation and will only be used once in many years. But what the Navy is doing now is exactly the same as the demon-slaying order. It's just that the Lieutenant General is a little less and the firepower is a little weaker. But the essence is the same, it is to destroy everyone and everything on the island. I really suffered a disaster. Lucifer shook his head and waved away a few incoming cannonballs. Looking at the Navy's posture, it was obvious that they did not intend to let go of any living creature on the island. Lucifer was also on their must-kill list. It seems that my hunting operation has come to an end. The Navy is really good at grabbing people. Lucifer is a little helpless. The pirates and gangsters who are dead now are all killing points in Lucifer's eyes. But now, these killing points are all gone. Forget it, find other goals. Lucifer's body shook, and 2 wings grew out of his back. The wings were pitch black, with extremely sharp edges, exuding an extremely evil aura. These are the demon wings of the hell demon, not the power of the word spirit fruit. Fan the demon with his wings, Lucifer turned into a strong wind, soared into the sky, and flew directly overseas. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 17. On the large naval ship, Doberman smoked a cigar and held his sword, looking indifferent. With his domineering knowledge, he can naturally sense the countless auras of despair on Falu Island. But he remained expressionless and showed no sign of mercy. As an iron-blooded soldier, he has long been used to life and death. Even if 10,000 people died, the mood would not change. Suddenly, Doberman frowned. He looked up at the sky and saw a black dot shooting out from the island and flying overseas. What an evil smell! Doberman's insightful look clearly perceived the evil aura on Black Dot, which was more evil than any pirate he had ever seen. Never let him go. Doberman took action, suddenly drew his sword, and a vacuum slash shot out of the air, instantly leaping 1,000 meters and hitting a black spot in the sky. The power of the slash exploded, triggering strong winds and blowing away the white clouds in the sky. Road Lucifer was suspended in the sky, his devil's wings constantly flapping, and his face was a little gloomy. Although the knife just now did not hurt him, it aroused Lucifer's anger. Originally, I planned to let you go, but now, you are seeking death on your own. Lucifer originally didn't want to go against the Navy. After all, he didn't want to be a pirate, and he didn't want to be hunted down with a bounty. What he wanted was to hunt pirates alone, gain killing points, become stronger quietly, and be with the Navy. Don't offend the river. Even the Navy has to thank him. But now, the Navy has taken the initiative to attack him. I will not offend anyone unless they offend me. If someone offends me, I will eradicate it. There was a loud bang, and the air exploded. Lucifer turned into a black light, shooting at the 3 naval warships in the distance. In just one breath, Lucifer arrived in front of the 3 warships. Originally I didn't want to take action, but you insisted on forcing me to seek death. Lucifer flapped his devil's wings, causing violent winds and waves, and the evil aura erupted, making thousands of sailors tremble with fear. Pay attention, this guy is not simple. Guys who are not strong enough will retreat. Doberman shouted, and at the same time he jumped onto the bow turret and pointed his knife at Lucifer in the sky. Arrogant pirate, with me here, you can't even think of leaving alive today. Lucifer looked indifferent and didn't answer. He just raised his hand gently. Light sword 8-foot Megatama. Like a devil's whisper, the moment it sounded, countless golden lightsabers appeared around Lucifer. In the blink of an eye, the sky was filled with dense golden lightsabers. Lieutenant General Doberman and 2 rear admirals on the warship as well as thousands of Navy soldiers, they all looked at the vision in the sky in shock, dumbfounded. No, impossible. This trick is. Doberman couldn't hide the horror in his heart, and his expression was distorted. As if to confirm his guess, in the next second, countless flashing flying swords fell from the sky, hitting the 3 warships like a heavy rain. Stop! Doberman roared, but it was too late. The moment the roar sounded, the attack had already arrived. 3 warships were hit by countless flashing flying swords, and were instantly blown into 3 huge fireballs. Thousands the naval soldier was blown away in an instant, and countless pieces of flesh and blood were scattered and turned into ashes. Ding, the host killed Rear Admiral Damon and obtained 18,000 killing points. Ding, the host killed Rear Admiral Brad and obtained 17,000 killing points. Ding, the host killed Commodore Moritz and obtained 10,000 killing points. Ding, the host killed Navy Captain Redmond and obtained 4,500 killing points. Ding, the host kills Navy Captain Olafin and obtains 4,800 killing points. Ding, the host killed the Navy Lieutenant Colonel. Ding, the host kills the Navy Lieutenant Commander. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point, which was originally 0, suddenly increased. The rate of soaring is unprecedented. Among the thousands of navies, those navies above the rank of lieutenant commander can obtain kill points after killing them. They ranged from hundreds to thousands, and the most were 2 rear admirals. The 2 provided Lucifer with 35,000 killing points. In this wave, Lucifer obtained a total of 75,000 kill points. Woohoo, a wave took off. Lucifer listened to the reminder sound in his mind, with an evil smile on his lips. At this moment, the fireball on the sea dissipated. The 3 warships had disappeared, and only some broken pieces of wood were floating on the sea. Densely packed corpses drifted with the waves. There were more broken limbs and broken flesh. Lieutenant General Doberman was holding a broken wooden board and floating on the sea, vomiting blood. He was in tatters, bruised and bleeding, and he would never be the same again. Of high spirits. Ken, damn bastard, actually, ahem. Another mouthful of blood spurted out. Doberman's internal organs were seriously injured and he couldn't even speak a complete sentence. He could only stare at Lucifer with a malicious look, as if he wanted to eat him alive. How about it? My moves are pretty powerful, right? How does it compare to your General Kizaru? Lucifer showed a smile and was very satisfied with the power of this move. He was right. Now that he is using the power of Flash, the power is not inferior to Kizaru's Shining Fruit. With one move, thousands of Navy were wiped out. Destroyed, only a few people survived in the end. Lieutenant General Doberman, you shouldn't mess with me. Lucifer put away his smile, followed by a hint of indifference. Great voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 18. If you want to blame, I can only blame you for being so mean and insisting on attacking me. The deaths of thousands of sailors today were all caused by you. After speaking, Lucifer stretched out his finger and pointed it at Doberman. Flash ray. With a whoosh, a golden flash of light shot out from Lucifer's fingers and instantly penetrated Doberman's head. With a loud bang, the flash ray exploded underwater, and another huge fireball appeared on the sea. In the Navy, General Doberman's body is gone. Ding, the host killed Vice Admiral Doberman and obtained 85,000 killing points. Oh? Is this guy so expensive? Lucifer was a little surprised, but after thinking about it for a moment, he felt that it was reasonable. Doberman is an elite lieutenant general of the Navy headquarters and the backbone of the Navy. The value of 85,000 killing points is very reasonable. And after killing Doberman, the total number of Lucifer's killing points has reached 160,000. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color haki, advanced. Wisdom color haki, intermediate. Overlord color haki, intermediate. Killing points, 160,000. 160,000 kill points, already breaking a record high. Not bad, very good. Lucifer was satisfied. If there are a few more waves, I will soon be able to collect 600,000 killing points. For a moment, Lucifer wanted to hunt the Navy specifically. Each elite vice admiral in the Navy headquarters is worth tens of thousands of killing points. As long as he kills a few more, he can quickly achieve his goal. It's a pity that I can only think about it now. There are only a dozen elite lieutenant generals in the Navy headquarters. They spend most of their time guarding the Navy headquarters and rarely go out. In the vast sea, it is difficult to find an elite lieutenant general in the Navy headquarters. It is better to hunt for high-value ones. Bounty for pirates. After finishing this job, my reward order should be out soon. Looking at the broken arms and limbs on the sea, Lucifer shook his head slightly. I didn't want to be an enemy of the Navy, but things are unpredictable and gods will plays tricks on people. That's right, it wasn't me who was wrong, it was the Navy. I was just forced to kill someone as a last resort. Yes, it is like that. Lucifer nodded secretly, and then turned into a storm and shot into the distance. By flapping the devil's wings, Lucifer moved very fast and turned into a black dot and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Admiralty Headquarters, Marineford, Marshal's office. Marshal Warring States wore frog glasses and was handling official business. The goat at his feet ate the discarded documents he disposed of without any disdain. Click. 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 Suddenly, a harsh chewing sound rang in his ears, which made Warring States frown, and the character well appeared on his forehead. Hey, Cap, don't eat donuts in my office, how many times have I told you? Why can't you remember? Sengoku slapped the table and roared towards the sofa, spittle flying everywhere. On the sofa, Vice Admiral Garp was holding a bag of donuts and eating happily, turning a deaf ear to Sengoku's roar. Ha 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 ha, don't be angry, Warring States, calm down. I am challenging the latest donut record and will set a new record soon. After saying that, Garp grabbed a few more donuts and stuffed them into his mouth. The harsh crunching sound sounded again. Sengoku couldn't bear it anymore, rushed to Garp, grabbed the donuts, and poured them all down into one's mouth. Ah, those are my donuts. Garp had no time to stop him and tried to snatch the donuts back, but all the donuts had already entered Sengoku's stomach. Then, Sengoku and Garp fought together. Who would have thought that these two people would be naval marshals and naval heroes? The naval staff officer next to him, Lieutenant General He, just glanced at the two of them and did not say anything to stop them. The three of them have been comrades in arms for decades. Sengoku and Garp have been fighting and arguing every day. Lieutenant General, he has long been used to it. At this moment, rapid footsteps sounded at the door, and then the office door was pushed open. Your Excellency, Marshal, something serious has happened. A naval colonel burst into the office, sweating profusely, shouting in a panic. What happened? How could you be so flustered? Marshal Sengoku separated from Garp, walked back to his desk and sat down. Reporting to Your Excellency, Marshal, just now, the naval fleet led by Vice Admiral Doberman lost contact with the headquarters. At the same time, Lieutenant General Doberman's life card burned to ashes, which confirmed that Lieutenant General Doberman had died in the line of duty. What did you say? Marshal Waring State's face changed drastically, and he stood up suddenly, showing a look of shock and anger. Lieutenant General he and Garp also had serious faces, and there was no longer a relaxed atmosphere in the office. Are you sure? Doberman's life card is really over. It's not that Marshal Waring States doesn't believe it, but that he doesn't want to believe it. After all, Lieutenant General Doberman is very powerful, and this operation is in the first half of the Grand Line. Who can kill him? Being stared at by three legendary Marines, the colonel was very nervous and had some slurred speech, but he still gritted his teeth and nodded. The news is correct, we have confirmed it again and again. At the same time, we also tried to contact Vice Admiral Doberman's fleet, but we have been out of contact and there has been no reply. Damn it, who dares to do such a thing? Could it be those bastards from the New World? Waring States gritted his teeth, and his whole body was covered with murderous intent. Check, send people to Falu Island immediately, I want to know all the information about this operation. The Waring States period issued an order. Every elite Vice Admiral of the Navy headquarters is the backbone of the Navy. Losing one of them is a huge loss. If something like this happens, the Navy headquarters cannot remain indifferent. Soon, a fleet of the Navy, so we set off and rushed to Falu Island as quickly as possible. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, Drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 19. On the endless sea, the waves sparkle, like countless shining pearls. A pirate ship sailed slowly through the sea, leaving a pearl foam channel behind it. Captain Charlotte, I heard that Captain John's treasure has appeared. Do we want to get a hold of it? Captain John was one of the great pirates of the olden times. How many Baileys should his treasure have? If you can get it, you won't be able to spend it all in your lifetime. Yes, Captain, such a good opportunity cannot be missed. On the pirate ship, a group of pirates were having a heated discussion. Everyone was focusing on their captain. Although they coveted the treasure, whether they wanted to fight for it still depends on the captain's decision. Quack, quack, of course you have to go, you idiots. A strong man with a brown beard laughed loudly. His laughter was a bit like a duck quacking. Captain John's treasure must belong to our brown-beard pirates. Ga. Call out. Suddenly a long sword came through the air, leaving a cold light that flashed away. The pirate captain's laughter suddenly stopped, and then his head shot up into the sky, splattering blood all over the surrounding pirates. Ah! What happened? Captain, the captain was killed. The pirates on the ship were shocked. They looked at the captain's headless body and trembled with fear. This scene happened so suddenly that no one could react. After they came to their senses, they found that their captain had been killed. Cut off the head. Where is the murderer? Find him and avenge the captain. Come out quickly, I'm not afraid of you. Damn bastard, come out if you have the guts. Face-to-face duel. Dozens of pirates gathered together back to back, screaming and shouting in all directions. But the louder their shouts were, it only proved that they were more frightened. Captain John's treasure? It made me a little bit interested. Suddenly, a cold voice sounded. Everyone looked up and saw a handsome young man standing on the mast looking down at them. Two huge demon wings were slowly retracting. The person who came was clearly Lucifer. After leaving Phai after the road to the island, Lucifer flew for more than 2 hours before finally finding the pirate ship as a landing place. It was really not easy to find a ship in the vast sea. By chance, Lucifer heard them when he landed. The topic we are talking about. Lucifer has also heard of the name Captain John. He was once a member of the Rocks Pirates and a famous pirate in the old times. Legend has it that after the collapse of the Rocks Pirates, Captain John took away the treasure plundered by the Rocks Pirates and wanted to take it all for himself. However, in the process of taking the treasure for himself, he was killed by his own subordinates. Lucifer still vaguely remembered that the body of Captain John after his death was found by Mariah, the zombie general who was found, resurrected, and turned into him should now be in Thriller Bark. Since Captain John's death, his treasure has been missing and remains unknown to this day. Over the years, there have been reports of Captain John's treasure appearing on the sea news, but it turned out to be a lie. What kind of monster is this? Devil, this man is a devil. Dozens of pirates turned pale with fright when they saw Lucifer retracting his demon wings. Because his image was exactly the same as the legendary Hell Demon. "Hello, where is Captain John's treasure?" Lucifer asked coldly. "Yes, on Crescent Island." A pirate couldn't help but tell the answer. "Yeah? Thank you very much." Lucifer smiled slightly, then waved his hand gently. Blade storm. Boom. 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 Dozens of flying swords and long knives shot out of the air, hitting dozens of pirates on the ship. While piercing their chests and heads, the powerful impact took them into the sea. In the blink of an eye, they fell into the sea. After a while, the pirates on the boat were cleared, leaving only Lucifer. Ding, the host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 300 killing points. Ding, the host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 700 killing points. After killing dozens of pirates, there were only 2 system prompts. Including the pirate captain who was the first to die in Lucifer's hands, this pirate group only had 3 targets in total. 3 pirates provided a total of 4,000 kill points for Lucifer. Is this too cheap? Trash fish is trash fish. Just like that, do you also want to fight for Captain John's treasure? Lucifer's mouth twitched and he jumped from the mast to the deck. Then, the pirate ship changed its direction and headed towards the direction of Crescent Island. System, open the Properties panel. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, Hell Demon. Armed color Haki, Advanced. Wisdom color Haki, Intermediate. Overlord color Haki, Intermediate. Killing points, 164,000. Lucifer now has a big wallet, he has enough 164,000 killing points. Opening the system store, Lucifer found the location of the 3-color domineering. System, purchase high-level knowledge color Haki and high-level overlord color Haki. Ding, if you purchase the high-level knowledge color Haki and high-level overlord color Haki successfully, 100,000 killing points will be deducted, leaving 64,000 killing points. At the same time as the electronic sound sounded, a burst of energy appeared in Lucifer's body out of thin air. In an instant, Lucifer's knowledge color and overlord color were raised to a high level at the same time. Mid-Autumn Festival and National Day Family Affection Feedback. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab the recharge now. Activity time, September 29th to October 6th. Great Voyage, Invincibility begins from the word spirit fruit. Author, drunk in March at West Lake. Chapter 20. Boom. A powerful aura erupted from Lucifer, creating a violent wind. The sea water in front was hit by the strong wind, causing waves. Several seagulls fell from the sky to the deck, foaming at the mouth and already unconscious. This is the high-level overlord color and domineering energy, and it is truly extraordinary. The overlord color Haki is very special among the three colors of Haki. It is the qualification of a king. Only the selected people can awaken this power. Only one person in a million can awaken the overlord color. It sounds very noble. But on the surface overlord-colored Haki can only be used to clean up miscellaneous soldiers, and has no effect on the strong. It seems to be useless. But in fact, it is not the case. Overlord-colored Haki can also be used to entangle and attack just like armed color Haki. It's just that there are very few people who have learned this skill. So there are very few people who know how to use it. The entanglement attack of Overlord Haki is more terrifying than the entanglement attack of armed Haki. The kings of the old era and the emperors of the sea in the new world now all know this technique, so they are so terrifying. Lucifer searched in the system store and quickly found the Overlord color domineering winding technique. At the same time, there are also tips for using armed color domineering. Armed color domineering external release, 100,000 kill points. Armed color domineering internal destruction, 100,000 kills points. Overlord color entanglement attack, 100,000 kill points. Each of the three techniques requires 100,000 kill points, which is very expensive. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit, word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color Haki, advanced. Inside color Haki, advanced. Overlord color Haki, advanced. Killing points, 64,000. Looking at the remaining 64,000 killing points, Lucifer shook his head helplessly. He couldn't afford any of these three techniques. The killing points are still lacking and more targets must be hunted. Lucifer closed the system interface and controlled the pirate ship to accelerate towards Crescent Island. The next trip to Crescent Island was his best opportunity. Lucifer was not interested in Captain John's treasure. He was only interested in those who had the strength. Pray. After the news of Captain John's treasure spreads this time, it will definitely attract many powerful pirates. Not only pirates, but also some powerful bounty hunters and gangsters will go. Even the Navy will take advantage of this. Take the opportunity to destroy the pirates. By then, Crescent Island will become a veritable hunting ground, and Lucifer can hunt targets and harvest killing points. As the sun sets, a red sun slowly sets on the sea level. Sunset, the remaining light shone on the pirate ship, shrouding Lucifer in the afterglow of the sunset. When the sunset completely disappeared on the sea level, Lucifer's pirate ship also disappeared on the sea level. A few days later, Marine Headquarters, Marineford. In the General's office, General Kizaru leaned on his chair and cut his nails leisurely. The adjutant next to him made a cup of hot tea for Kizaru and respectfully served it to Kizaru. "General Kizaru, please have some tea." "Oh, thank you very much." Kizaru picked up the teacup and blew the hot air away, then took a sip. The aroma of tea escaped from his mouth, causing Kizaru to narrow his eyes involuntarily. Days like this are really leisurely. It seems that today is another peaceful day, and I can leave work in 3 hours. Kizaru is very comfortable. He leans back on the chair and puts his feet on the desk, posing like a salty fish. As the most salty general among the three generals, it is Kizaru's life rule to clock into work every day and leave work on time. Absolutely not working overtime was his creed in life. The adjutant next to him had an expressionless face. He had long been accustomed to General Kizaru's salty attitude. However, at this moment, There was an urgent knock on the door. "Come in." Kizaru was still drinking tea leisurely, and the person who spoke was his adjutant. A naval colonel walked into the office, came to Kizaru's desk and saluted respectfully. "General Kizaru, the warring states marshal urgently summoned the generals to go there. There was an important meeting to be held." Kizaru's face changed, showing a trace of lewd expression. This is really troublesome. I have to work overtime again today. Mr. Zhangguo is really good at tormenting people. He asked me to work overtime, but why should he give me an increase in overtime pay?" Kizaru is still slumped in the chair, not wanting to move like a salted fish. Drinking tea and fishing is his pursuit. As a famous salted fish general, what Kizaru hates most is working overtime. "General Kizaru, the marshal is still waiting for you, please hurry up," the adjutant next to me said loudly. Hey, that's serious, Ranjith." Kizaru put down his teacup, reluctantly stood up from his chair, and slowly walked out of the office. As he walked, he asked the naval colonel, "Do you know what the theme of this meeting is?" "It's about the death of Lieutenant General Doberman. The Navy has found the murderer." The naval colonel replied loudly, with a hint of anger in his tone. "In the past few days, the news of Vice Admiral Doberman's death in the line of duty has spread in the Navy headquarters, making countless naval soldiers furious. They all want to find the murderer and save Dober. Lieutenant General Man takes revenge." "Oh, is it about Doberman?" When mentioning the fallen comrades, Kizaru's face became less vulgar and more serious. Although he was a salty general, he also had the position of being a naval admiral. Regarding Doberman's death, Kizaru was also extremely angry. "It's great to read books on May Day.